welcome to what is the final NNN show that we are making. Now, don't panic. It's not the end of Nintendo Ninja News or anything like that. But I've been making some decisions in the last, few days, in the last few weeks, I would say. As Nintendo Ninja News has been sort of growing and expanding and sort of changing. I've been a little worried about, there's been a lot of video uploads in the last few days, but generally I've had this nasty feeling of doing too much content and burning myself out. There's been a little bit of talk from me on Facebook and Twitter about that, worried about doing too much stuff and doing too much of this and that, and sort of burning out in the end. And Nintendo Ninja News it's easy to manage, but it can get too much to work on at times. And that's something that I've been looking at and working on and trying to figure out what would be the best thing to go forward with. I've been looking at the type of videos that work and the type of videos that don't work for this channel. We've been doing that for a year now. So that has been a very annoying thing. But I just had to get rid of the cat there. But for example, we tried to do reviews and things like that. And that I'm not the biggest fan of reviews and stuff like that. We will be doing a review of SteamWorld Dig 2. And then after that, we will mostly be doing streaming stuff and stuff like that. So really our program from going forward for Nintendo Ninja News will be 2 to 4 streams a fortnight, depending on how I'm feeling and what games are coming out. And if there's a new game that's coming out, we'll obviously play through it and have a bit of fun with it and all that sort of stuff. So for example, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is coming out. We're going to be doing the big 2-3 hour stream of that. And yes, we do use our phone for the uploading, because my internet broadband is not good enough. I live in Australia. So we'll do sort of 2 to 4 streams a fortnight. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work out in the next, I say by E3, in terms of the streaming and stuff like that, then we might just axe doing live streams altogether and sort of, and do away with that. So, and that's because I don't want to keep on doing content that requires a lot of time and effort on my part. It's, it's difficult. And you have to remember, I have a job outside this, real working paid job. And it makes it difficult to judge my own YouTube channel to other channels, because they have hundreds of thousands of views. They do it as a full-time job and they have an income for it. This channel has no income. We don't have money coming in or anything like that. All the stuff behind you is paid for by myself, and it is pretty difficult. And I've also been thinking of sort of getting rid of some of my old retro consoles, and it's nice having an N64, Super Nintendo and a GameCube around with me. But if I'm not using them, and I could use a virtual console on the Wii U or the Nintendo Switch coming later on this year, I don't want to be one of those people that has like 15, 16 home consoles sitting at home collecting dust, where I could give it to someone who doesn't have that much money, and I can put a smile on the dial and they can have a lot more use out of it than me, if you can understand that. And, I mainly just use my Switch and my Wii U and 3DS, and that's really what I keep to. And I normally keep consoles that has a fair sort of collection. I've got the NES Mini, which is perfect for me. And if they did a classic edition of each of those consoles with 20 or 30 good games on it, I think I'll be pretty happy with that. So the program is that live streaming, book reviews and unboxings. Oddly enough, is something that I actually enjoy doing, and I actually get good views out of it. because I think people like to look for those things, and it's something that, you know, I'm a writer too, so, you know, it sort of ties it in a bit nicely, which is cool. The other piece is Nintendo Historia. Now, it's a video series that hasn't really met with much, but we will keep on working on that and keep on doing stuff on that as well. And we have the guest spot, which is things like the GammaCon stuff, the conventions, online stuff that we're trying to do. We've never actually had we've had guests on Nintendo News, but not online from other YouTubers and things like that. So it's something that we've struggled with. And other things we've struggled with is the logo design. We got a nice new intro, which is nice, but it's a struggle. It's really tough at times to try to put this all together. So you'll still have opinion based stuff from me, but it's not going to be named the NNN show. And the streaming, instead of being called NN Live, we're just going to just do streams. Just, you know, there's a stream for this particular game happening this week. Come along if you like. And that will be the way. We're just trying to keep things a little more streamlined and more simplistic for the show. And it's going to be a bit sad to sort of do away this little mini show out of the channel. But I want to, you know, the only things that I will need to really focus on is just delivering the news, doing 1 or 2 streams a week, or give it a skip. And, you know, and the Historia stuff, the history lessons, and the guest spot is something that will happen every now and again. It's not an everyday thing. I think if people can understand that. And I hope that people sort of understand why we don't really do the reviews and we don't do certain things and all that sort of stuff. I hope people understand why. And it has been a bit of a difficult beginning of the year because I want to look at doing my writing website again, because it's been laying dormant for a long time, a couple of years since I've been doing the show, and there's been a few more views to that, and I've been doing a few more you know, written pieces there, and I'm hoping that there will be more stuff happening out of that. So it's been a bit stressful, you know. I've had issues with depression too, which is hard. And I've been trying to work myself out. I think it happens every April, May. I think when the cold weather comes in, I really don't feel that well, and it's hard to sort of describe it. But as you can tell, we've done like 760 videos, which is insane. And normally we do a lot of videos when events happen or Nintendo Directs, and you do 8 or 10 of them. Like E3, we did some like 15, 16 in one day. Is insane. But they are those 1-minute news bites. And I know I know I've lost a lot of subscribers. We've got 370 subscribers. We've actually lost 100 over those 2 years, and that's probably because of the high amount of video uploads that we do. And I don't know. Maybe we might cut down on the news. We thought of doing like a weekly news thing, but I think the problem is by the time you do that, the news is already passed and no one's looking for that sort of stuff. So it's very difficult. It's very, very hard. So, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I've got a scratch on the desk. That is going to make me very sad. All right, so that's it for the NNN show. It's all over after 42 episodes, and that will be it. And it's been a lot of fun doing these sort of opinion-based stuff, mixed with rambling stuff. But if you want to hear more of my personal thoughts, I guess, and you'll still hear them, you know, on Nintendo Ninja News and elsewhere, you can always go to christysis.me. That's my own little private website with all my crazy things that I do. And hopefully that people will have a look at it. But the show will go on. We'll keep doing the streaming and see what happens. And we'll test it out until E3. And if it doesn't work, well then, you know, we'll dump that as well and just go purely news and opinions and, you know, doing it every now and again. We're just trying to make things a little more simple for us. So, that's it for me. And bye-bye NNN show.